Welcome to Wildcard Weekend and welcome back to TBM Sports. I'm Mark. Appreciate you guys all tuning in, spending your Saturday morning with me once again, and we are going to get right down into it, guys. I have a lot of props in this video that I'm going to be talking to you guys about my angles, what I'm playing. This is going to be about a 10-minute video, so if you guys give me a couple minutes of your time, we'll go over these two games and get you on your way. All I ask in return is that you like, comment, and subscribe, all right? Say good morning, smash that like button, and as always, guys, it's totally free to subscribe. Discord's free. Who doesn't like free stuff? And also, we do have a free 7-day free trial with Outlier. Links down below for that. We're going to show you guys what they do in this video. This is one of the greatest betting platforms, in my personal opinion. If you're trying to do alts, props, anything like that, it really does put you in the best position possible because I hate overpaying for my bets, right? I'll never lay $1.20. When I can go find a flat line minus 105 out there. It's just when you bet at large integers and values, it's just you really have to really focus on that juice, right? That's what over the long haul does add up. But let's get into the game. Like I said, guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. And let's talk about these games at face value. Before we do that, though, I do want to show you guys kind of what we're going to be looking into within the NFL in terms of these numbers. Okay, we have two games today, and the first game we're going to look into, I'm going to talk to you guys about the side in total, and then we're going to do a little prop segment where I go into a lot of props, a lot of data, and I'm going to show you guys where my head's at because this is what it's all about, guys. Love these playoff matchups, okay? First game, though, I don't quite frankly love as much as the later game. We do have the Chargers and the Houston Texans, okay? We have the Chargers, 3-point favorites on the road, taking on the C.J. Stroud-led club. Houston has been struggling to score points, and I think that what we see from Harbaugh, very similar to what Michigan looked to do in their college football playoff runs and how he likes to play a style of defense, okay? Herbert, He controls the football, limits turnovers, very low interceptions on the year. It's been kind of the turning point of his career, I think, is having Jim Harbaugh as, in some form or fashion, former quarterback mentor in that club. I think that the total right now at 41.5, you are getting the worst of the number, okay? But I can tell you guys that I do have a lean on the under 42. If you can find a 42 out there, take it. All right, that's kind of my best bet for this game. Also, I will lay it with the Chargers, minus 2.5. It's kind of overwhelmingly the public side is the Chargers on the road. Historically, in this wild card round, favorites have done very well, and when they do win, they usually win by margin, if my memory serves me correct, okay? I don't have actually numbers to back that up, but that's kind of where it all comes down to. Okay, now let's get into the second game before we hit the props. The Steelers and the Ravens. Now, the Ravens are a whopping 9.5-point favorite at home, taking on the Mike Tomlin-led club. Now, the interesting thing about this story is I heard the Schefter report that teams would be lining up the door and the Brinks truck if the Steelers make Mike Tomlin available. So, not winning a playoff game in, I think, 10 years or something like that. Crazy. I don't know if that's the actual number. All you terrible towel wavers out there, please feel free to correct me. I know you guys are watching. I know you're watching, but still the Browns are the way to go. Anyways, I digress. We'll talk about it a little bit. I'm actually going to Pittsburgh today. Full disclosure, I'll be at the Penguins hockey game, a little bit of a pregame, if you will, before the Steelers-Ravens matchup. So we'll be getting the picks over there from Joey D in terms of that hockey game within the Penguins, and then finding a local establishment, a watering hole to fully indulge into the Steelers-Ravens matchup in the Steel City, okay? So that'll be a fun little getaway for me and the missus and a couple friends, okay? But let's talk about this game. Total set at 43.5. I don't really have a clear side on the total, okay? I can see this going a couple different ways. I do lean over. Zay Flowers, obviously, I don't know what the hell the Ravens were doing against the Browns, playing their starters that late in the game. There was no way, even if the Ravens were up 7-0, there was no way the Browns were winning that football game. The AFC North wrapped up in that week, so they took care of business. They did what they had to do, but now they play a Steelers club that are very familiar. Last matchup, I believe, was 34-17, and now we see in this game... Now we see in this game a whopping 9.5, the largest, them and Buffalo, the largest spreads I personally have a play on the 9.5. I have a little bit of a parlay riding from some college football games, and the Ravens were one of those legs. I think that they get it done. I think that they're going to play stout defense at home. And if you've watched the ineffectiveness of Russell Wilson, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I lean over. It's going to come mostly from the Ravens side. The Steelers are going to try to play their brand of football, kind of the tried and true within Mike Tomlin. I just don't know if it's going to be enough to get past his vaulted offense. And who wants to tackle Derrick Henry in sub-zero weather within the lovely month of January playing outdoor football, something that I believe the college game lacks in that regard. Okay, so let's get into the props. Like I told you guys, those are my 4 leans. I do have a play on the Chargers -2.5 and some open legs with Ravens money. Great teaser leg as well. If you do see it being a low-scoring game, Mike Tomlin's record as a road dog, I mean, take them up. Take them up. You can get 15.5 for Pittsburgh. I just don't know if that's enough. So kind of shy away from that one a little bit. I do like Baltimore in this spot. The one thing, though, with playoff Lamar, you never know what you're going to get. But we are going to talk about the props that kind of piece together the entire game. So let's stay into the Baltimore Steelers matchup where we're going to be talking Derrick Henry quite a bit. Now, we are going to use Outlier to do this, and I want to talk more so first about George Pickens, okay? We saw this against Baltimore back on the 17th of November. 37 was his longest reception. Comeback script, big spread. They're going to have to chuck the ball. 24.5 right now is that longest reception. He's hit this in 90% basically of his last 9 games. Love this bet. One of my favorite bets on the card. -115 is the best number at BetMGM. George Pickens going over 24.5 longest reception. Calvin Austin, another guy here, 23.5. If you look at his last 5 games, this has been one where he's been kind of my moneymaker here. -110 over 24.5. He's been the go-to guy. It may only take one target, one reception for Calvin Austin to get this one home and cash his ticket. So that's something I like quite a bit. If we look at kind of the targets, his average yard per reception is 16.3. He probably will only need 2. He gets 4.3 targets a game. Last few, he's gotten 5 respectively back-to-back. Against Baltimore, he had 36 on 5 targets. So that's one of my favorite prop bets as well in a game script where Pittsburgh's not going to be able to run the ball. They're going to have to chuck it. And Calvin Austin and the likes of George Pickens are 2 of the bets that I do like quite a bit. Another guy, this is going to be a value play in the prop market, okay? Mike Williams shut out against Baltimore back on the 17th, but on the 21st, he did have 24 receiving yards. It's going to take 1 catch, all right? 1 catch over 10.5. Another guy I like quite a bit in a value play in terms of a touchdown, okay? Plus 1,000 anytime touchdown scorer is Mike Williams. So those are the 3 receivers I'm targeting. Staying away from the Baltimore side, staying away from the tight end, Mark Andrews. I just don't think we need to get into that. I don't really like the potential for what offensive script and game flow Baltimore could roll out. But this is going to lead me into the Baltimore side that I do feel is my favorite angle for this whole entire weekend, okay? Derrick Henry, receiving yards, over 5.5. If you want to get a little bit more risky, the longest reception prop is also 5.5. So you could take over. It's going to take 1 grab, but there is a chance that he gets 2 receptions for 3 yards respectively, cashing the over 5.5, and you lose the longest reception bet. So keep that in mind. But Derrick Henry over 5.5 receiving yards, one of my favorite bets, if not the favorite bet of the entire betting slate. That is my lock of the day, if you will, taking Derrick Henry over 5.5. He had 23 against Cleveland, 27 against Pittsburgh. If we look back into that November game head-to-head, you can see right now he had 27, 0, 27. So the data points agree with me. And I'm going to be taking Derrick Henry over 5.5. Let's look into it because you guys are going to be betting it. Derrick Henry, not right now, to score a touchdown, -175. Load it up, right? That is great value. You can't really be mad at that. You look back last week on his birthday, he had 2 late in the game. You could have found that at -275 in some places. Now you're getting -175. That's a great parlay leg builder. And anybody who does like to lay chalk, this is kind of a bet that, Mark would lay to win 1 unit with this bet. Okay, I would do that in some rare occasions, and that's just kind of how I feel about it. Okay, so Derrick Henry over 5, over a half touchdown just to get in the end zone. One of the bets I like as well. Also, if you do believe in the cold and you do believe Derrick Henry is just that guy, longest rush, okay? That's kind of what we're getting into as well. Right now it's set at 19.5. Head-to-head against Pittsburgh at 31 and 44 respectively. He gets better as the game goes on. And I just think that this is a number where I do like Derrick Henry over his longest rush quite a bit as well. Also, if we want to get into the rushing yards, not my favorite, but look at this, guys. Last 3 games, one of them against Pittsburgh, one of them against Houston, one of them against Cleveland. All 3 of these teams really can play rushing defense really well if they want to, okay? It's set at 99.5. I don't mind it, okay? 100 yards for Derrick Henry, sure, why not? Let's load it up. Take the over in Derrick Henry rushing. I know it's chalky. I know the better number was available a little earlier, but guys, this is one where I do see Baltimore just completely saying, hey, guys, we're moving on. Derrick, go be that man, okay? So that's how I feel about the Pittsburgh game. Those are my best bets. Also, Russell Wilson rushing yards. That is a bet that we've been playing and cashing tickets on in the last half of the season. I do like that one quite a bit as well. All right. And to conclude, we are going to go into the Houston game with some props. Now, I don't like the props as much in this. I do think that Herbert might run a little bit more in this game. We can look down that angle. But Joe Mixon, I want to kind of highlight this for you guys. I was a big proponent of playing Joe Mixon over rushing attempts, but look at his last 10 games, or actually we'll put up the whole 2024 season, okay? Rushing attempts have went down significantly, all right? And that's kind of where we look at it. The under in this prop, early on in the season, this was a great play. We played it every single week. Joe Mixon, anytime touchdown scorer. But right now, 17.5. Look at the last 4 games. Now, I don't know if he was banged up. They were kind of going easy on him. But when they didn't have Nico Collins, they don't have Stephon Diggs, and all they really have, when they don't have Tank Dell and all they have is Nico Collins, you think they would lean on Joe Mixon a little bit more. Well, here it is, guys. Last 6 games, really not even getting 15 rushing attempts. One time against Jacksonville, getting 20, eclipsing this 17.5. It's something interesting where if you do want to find an alt line out there, you could take an under 18.5 at minus 139. That's not readily available, but 17.5 at plus money. It's kind of a interesting play that I would actually consider going over in, okay? I know the Chargers have a great run defense. They're a brick wall, but I could see this being more of a playoff mentality. Why I like the under 42, I think they're going to run the football, okay? I think that's what you do. You go back to your bread and butter, and you try to win up front. So I think Joe Mixon going over 17.5 is an angle that I do like quite a bit. Also, touchdowns, he's been scoreless in his last 4. I think this could end today. Minus 120 is great value going over for Joe Mixon as well. All right, next guy, the one that everybody targets, loves, and cherishes is Ladd McConkey. 75.5, minus 110. I think this is one where you have to go over. He's hit this in basically 6 of his last 7. It's a bet that I do like. If you look at the matchup right here on Outlier, we can see it right now, guys. Receiving yards allowed, Houston does a very good job, 7th in the NFL, but against receivers, 21st. I think he's going to find his way there in the slot. He's going to be the go-to guy. I know that Darryl Stingley will be on him. Great corner, but McConkey has really done work against players on the defensive side better than Stingley, and I think this is something where he's going to get close to 100 yards in this contest. Playoff mentality, you can't hold anything back. Ladd McConkey is their go-to guy, so I will go over Ladd McConkey, okay? And that's pretty much all I like. If we're going to talk about it, the last bet I would get into, kind of the cherry on top for this whole analysis. We're gonna sort this here. Let me find it for you guys. Okay, this is something where this is a bet I like quite a bit. Okay, this is where we're going to go into special teams a little bit. Cameron Dicker, okay? We're not going to take the kicking points because we would need basically 2 touchdowns to get 2 field goals to get to 6, and then 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals to get to 8. I don't like it. If he only kicks 1 field goal and then he's going to need respectively 5 touchdowns, I don't see it in this game. So this is kind of where we're going to go into field goals made. One of my favorite bets of the day. I'm going to lay the juice on Caesars, minus 145. Cameron Dicker over 1.5 field goals made. He's had 4 in his last 2 outings. He's hit this in 3 of his last 5. Going against a Houston defense, last 10 games, 70% cash rate. I do like Cameron Dicker quite a bit. Over 1.5 field goals made. Probably one of my favorite bets in this Chargers-Texans matchup, especially with the total I like under 42. So let's cash this Cameron Dicker 2 field goals in this contest, okay? So that'll about wrap it up. That is my breakdown of the Saturday slate. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let's go cash some tickets. Enjoy it, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys over in the Discord a little bit later. Also, if you guys love the channel, you want to give back, join TBM Sports right now. Link down below for channel memberships, $9.99 a month. Appreciate you all. Good luck. We'll see you all tomorrow. Cheers.